You won't believe what just happened at this marriage green card interview I just attended. I'm actually still in the parking lot because I needed a moment to decompress after this USCIS officer finished showing us Pepe. So I got this client who came to me after his case was filed. He had an upcoming green card interview, which is back, by the way. They've been calling people for interviews left, right, and center. So he came to me and told me about his case. He had some complications, like he has a pending asylum case, he had a previous marriage, and just told me about those things that he was concerned about that could come up in the interview. So I took the case and decided to come to the interview with them. This interview is in Charlotte, so I didn't have to do a whole trip. I just came to the office here on Executive Center Drive. It's a really nice USCIS building, by the way, pretty big. Not as big as the one in Chicago, though, when I went for the asylum interview. But anyway, we got here this morning. Interview was at 9. We waited. It took like 30 minutes to call us back. And then by the time we went back there, the officer, as soon as we went back, I already knew there was about to be trouble because the officer wasn't even smiling. She was just like, she didn't even introduce herself. She was just like boning. And I tried my usual tricks to keep her calm and be charming and just get her comfortable, and she didn't even look at me. I was like, okay, she's an older lady and maybe she's just conservative, so let's just wait and see how this goes. So my clients and I get seated. Well, first of all, they do the swearing in, because once you get into the interview room, they have you raise your right hand, at least the clients. You have to swear that everything will be the truth and nothing but the truth. So we did that. We sat down and then she started looking through the paperwork. Silence for like 20 minutes, just looking through the paperwork. And that in itself was nerve-wracking because we're already anxious, right? You're coming into this interview not knowing what they're going to ask you, and then this person comes in, doesn't say anything. It's giving, am I going to be deported? Like, it's suspicious, right? So after a few minutes, she started the questioning. She just went straight into the hard questions. There was no, how did you meet your spouse type, preliminary questions. She just went into the fact that he was previously married and wanting to know the timeline between that marriage, the old marriage, and the new marriage. The simple reason for these questions is to determine if he had a previous fraudulent marriage. Even though this marriage now is legitimate, they have 2 children, the questions just went straight into his immigration intent. Did you try to marry for a green card before? Essentially, that's all she was asking, because she was like, when did you know this one? When did you know your new wife? Were you guys ever living together at one point? And then some other complications came up, and this was the one that just gagged me. Like, I was in shock. I was like, please God, let this not be true. So after all the questioning, she just picked up this piece of paper she had on her desk this whole time. It was highlighted, and she started reading from that. And then she said, let me take you back 13 years ago. And I was like, what happened 13 years ago? And she talks about this life insurance claim that this client applied for all those years ago. And she asked him, have you ever claimed to be a US citizen ever on any form at any point in your life? And he was like, no, and that's why she started going through the memory lane of the 13 years ago when he applied for some insurance with his previous wife and so on and so forth. And even though we don't have that policy right now, she's like, I'm gonna need to investigate this, because if you claim to be a US citizen in the past, you're gonna basically be banned from getting your green card. That's like a straight denial. Immediately I heard that, my lawyer mind went to work trying to figure out any exceptions to this rule, because I know how serious it is for claiming to be a US citizen, especially on your I-9, your employment stuff. They usually ask your status, and some people select citizen. I saw someone the other day asking a question. They selected citizen because they thought they were a citizen because they lived in the US. I'm like, girl, claiming to be a US citizen for any type of benefit is a serious immigration fraud offense that has no cure. Other types of inadmissibilities, whether it's overstay, working unauthorized, even criminal stuff. There are some stuff that you can do and still get waivers, but when it comes to claiming citizenship, especially when you're not a minor, and you've done this for years and years, maybe you're currently even working at a job that you claimed you were a citizen to get, that's going to affect your ability to actually get your green card. You will get denied. So if this has happened to you or someone you know, they have claimed to be a US citizen when they're not a US citizen, there are still options to fix your status. You may never be able to become a permanent resident or a US citizen, but there are options for people who have US citizen relatives who have lived in the US for 10 plus years to still remain in the US, fix your status, not be deportable, and continue to build your life. I'm attorney Ivy in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I help clients in situations like this. If you are in the process of getting your green card through family and you have violated your immigration status in one way or another and you're not sure if you still qualify, reach out to me today so I can tell you your options to actually get your green card, actually stay in the US without fear of deportation, and be able to live your best life with you and your family. If you don't live in Charlotte, don't worry, you can still reach out to me. I help clients in all 50 states. I've been privileged to travel to different states for client interview attendance and also to attend court hearings and help immigrants who are in ICE detention to get out with a bond. So you can reach out to me right now, my number's on the screen, to get some advice on what to do next, your next steps. If you're currently held by ICE, if you're in the process of getting your green card, if you just don't know what to do to fix your immigration status, reach out to me. Let's get started.